Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. As you can see, I am living it amongst piles of boxes. I will be officially homeless in 6 days. I have so much to share with you guys. I need to have my situation stabilize next week sometime, and I'm going to have so much to talk to you guys about my situation. Some unbelievable stories, really. Until then, I want to talk about Lara Trump today. Something she said she's been talking about in Texas and Arizona about people arming themselves. I want to talk about what happened to Decatur, Georgia yesterday over a face mask at a Big Bear supermarket. And I want to tie it all together with my experiences yesterday. On a positive note, I want to wrap it up with my experiences yesterday at a storage facility here in Connecticut. All right, let me start. Excuse me, at the beginning. Lara Trump over the past week has been talking in Arizona and Texas and getting, as usual, spreading fear and hate, warning people that they better prepare themselves and arm themselves against, to take matters into their own hands against illegal immigrants coming across the border. This is Lara Trump. I'll put the links down below over the past week. As soon as I read this, it took me back to last year. It was El Paso, Texas. An El Paso, Texas Walmart. A nationalist, I'll just use that word, took out 23 people at a Walmart because he felt America was being invaded. That was just last year. I think it was 23 people and then 23 people wounded also. And then, so we have Lara Trump, getting the, putting even more fear and hate into the already topped off levels of Trump supporters down in Texas and Arizona, telling them that, they got to be ready and take this into their own hands. I got to be careful what I say here, but you understand what she's saying here. That, to use illegal immigrants as bullseyes. I don't know how else to put this. And it's troubling, especially we have these daily incidents across the country now. There's just this outrageous number of these, again, I have to watch what I say here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. These daily incidents of mass situations across the country happening every day. That brings me to Decatur, Georgia yesterday. Again, the links will, in case I'm being a little too vague, the links will all be down below. All right. Decatur, Georgia yesterday. This was over a face mask. I've never heard of Big Bear supermarkets, but in Georgia, apparently there's a Big Bear supermarket chain, and a customer I've seen time after time. We don't know here in Connecticut. We don't know. Some stores require face masks, some don't. And it's a hit or miss thing. My local library, you don't need a face mask if you're vaccinated. It's an honesty policy. At a store here, you do require a face mask. One store, another store, you don't. It's all hit or miss. I don't understand. I truly don't. I'll get to that more in a second. So anyway, the link will be down below. A customer was asked to put on a face mask. This is just unbelievable. The customer left. Came back in and point blank took out the cashier. There was a security guard, an off-duty sheriff, that was wearing a bulletproof vest, and he engaged this guy that came back in because of a face mask. And those two were wounded. I think there was 3 people wounded and the cashier fatally. This was over being asked to put on a face mask. Guys, I don't get it. Like I said, it's kind of hit or miss here. A lot of times, lately, I've been losing my face mask because I carry it in my pocket. And at the end of the day, I throw those shorts into the wash, and I keep losing face masks because I try to carry one with me because I'm never sure if there's always signs in the front door of the store here in Connecticut saying either they require a face mask, stating their policies, so one way or the other. So I've just made it a regular thing where I carry it in my pocket. And like I said, though, this has led to me washing my face mask constantly and losing them and having to find more. I try to keep them in my car. I don't get this. I don't get it. Okay, for instance, let me go to a storage facility. I'm packing all my stuff up because I don't have room in my little Honda Fit to carry around 4 rooms of belongings. So I went to a storage facility yesterday, and I had to get rung in, and I wasn't sure. The girl came up, the small little woman came up to the door and let me in. And the first thing I asked her is, do I need a face mask? And she turned and started walking away, and she said our store requires us to wear a face mask. I think that's what she said. So I wasn't quite sure. So I pulled out my face mask and I put it on, and she put hers on. I think what she was saying is the store requires her to put on a face mask. Okay, so I put on my face mask. I really I don't understand this. How, I'm vaccinated, and there's, 99.99% chance that I'm going to get anything or I'm going to spread anything to anybody else. But it's not really about that. It's just about if somebody else, a store or a person, would feel more comfortable if I put on a face mask. That's really, to me, that's all it's about. If the other person would feel more comfortable if I put on a face mask, I'll put on a face mask. I don't understand how mostly Trump supporters and Republicans feel like this is some big infringement. This is all about personal freedom and people are trying to control them and Marxism and all this other stuff. To me, it's so insane. I don't get it. If I can make another person feel comfortable and safe, they're interacting with me. I'm asking for their help usually, like going to this storage facility. And by the way, again, storage facilities are rare. It's almost impossible to find a place to store your stuff. You can't find a roof to put over your head. You can't find storage facilities to store your stuff. You can't find furniture to put in the storage facilities. It's a crazy time these days. All right, so getting back to that. So I go in, and I just don't understand it. If it's going to make the other person, if I'm going to, interact with another human being, why not make them feel comfortable? Why not just, or if it's the store's policy, I don't get it. I don't get how putting a piece of cloth over your face is a big infringement or controlling somebody to the point where in Decatur, Georgia, this guy goes out, gets this weapon, and goes back in and point blank does this to the cashier. Well, I sometimes wonder if our country, if part of our country is just truly gone insane. That's not even that's beyond reasonable. That's just insane. All right, so I had a busy day yesterday, and I just did not have a lot of time on my hands. I was still trying to secure an apartment. I'm finding I needed to get these things done yesterday, so I was in a hurry. And this short little woman started talking to me. Right away, I could tell, you could usually tell if not usually, but sometimes you could tell if somebody is of the LGBTQ community or not. I'm not trying to stereotype anybody, but sometimes you get a feel. And I did get it. Not that it had anything to do with it, but we started talking because it was downpouring that day. There was lightning. And this person that worked at, this woman that worked at the storage facility was so outgoing. And I was in a big hurry. I was all nervous. And I usually would I wouldn't blow somebody off, but I'd be rather short because I have a lot of stuff to do. I'm not a very talkative person. I'm not all that outgoing and sociable usually. I'm not rude or anything. But, with my friends and close friends and family, I am. But otherwise, I'm just not somebody that needs to interact. Some people need to be sociable. And this woman started talking to me and started talking about her girlfriend. And honestly, part of me just started to really like this person. She was so outgoing, and I could tell that, through my past experience dealing with people, I could tell she wasn't just doing this as part of her job, to score points on Yelp or whatever, the ratings, she truly enjoyed talking to people. So I made it a point to kind of slow down. So I started sharing with her my experiences with the weather and whatnot. And like I said, I put my mask on just out of a courtesy to her. And I ended up staying there for about almost a good half hour. As we walked through the storage facility, I told her, I said, this seems like a great job. She was the only person in there, and it was a brand new facility with all state of the art and everything. And I was like, geez, I would love this job. Where if you were busy, you could do a little reading in the solitude. I loved it. So I told her, I said, geez, this is a great job. And she actually said the opposite. She said, it's a great job unless nobody comes in, she says, because she likes interaction with people. She's pretty much the exact opposite of me. So her outgoingness and her friendliness impressed me so much, and we're two very different people, that I actually made it a point. Once she showed me around the facility, we got to the bay where I'll be loading my stuff in. And I continued the conversation. Usually I would have cut the conversation off and just hurried up and gone about my business because I still had a lot of stuff to do. But I could tell that she truly enjoyed interactions with people. So I kind of slowed down a little bit. And where I would have usually just said, okay, got to go, thank you, I would have left, I made it a point to kind of get more involved in the conversation with her. And we started talking about Florida and just experiences in moving and all sorts of farm equipment and just all sorts of stuff. And we talked for a good 20 minutes or half hour, which is way longer than I would have usually talked. And why did I do this? And I wouldn't even usually do this, but it was because I enjoyed this person's conversation. I enjoyed the fact that she seemed like a truly good person and she enjoyed human interaction. And that was almost, that's just not something I usually enjoy. It's something that makes me uncomfortable, like a mask. But instead of just running out, I thought, maybe I could make this person's day a little better. It seems like a good person. Why not just talk and chat and give this person a little of my time, and just share thoughts and experiences and a little time with somebody that I probably would never talk with. At the end of the day, it makes me a better person because I learned about somebody else. It makes her day better because, just like I need solitude, she needs human interaction, and yeah, running out would have made me feel better. Like it makes some people better not wearing a mask. But it's not always about me and my freedom and not being controlled. Sometimes you have to think the other person. And when you do that, you're also rewarded. I'm going to remember that interaction with this person probably for the rest of my life because it was different. And it wasn't something I usually do. And it wasn't somebody I'd usually interact with. And these are the things I think that you can actually learn from. I think these are some of the most important interactions we have out of all of our days in our lives. I have my usual interactions with the people that I make a point, that I'm comfortable with every day. But when you go out of your comfort zone, like I did yesterday, just because I thought through empathy, I thought this is a good person. Why not just sit back and take a little time out of my busy day to make this person feel a little better, to share something with her. And this is something I'm never going to forget. And I hope it made her day a little better too. This goes back to the mask. It's not always about us. It doesn't have to be about us. These are things that we will remember, that will help us grow for the rest of our lives. When you just center on yourself and your freedom and your rights and all this other stuff, you're losing in the long run. Sometimes, most times, it's good to go out of your comfort zone and consider other people's feelings and do something for somebody else, because in return, you get something. I hope I made a point today. I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a great Tuesday.